What a great day this is. To have Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians standing united for one cause. To get rid of cronyism in this city. I am grateful to have this opportunity, and thank you so much for your kind words, sir, and thank you for your service to this country.
Amen.
You may know me as the NFL's all-time sack leader or Pro Football Hall of Fame, but I stand before you today as a businessman and a taxpayer and citizen in Virginia Beach. The reason I stand before you today is because cronyism is having a destructive impact on our economic growth.
Amen.
And those that are the enablers to fester this culture of doing business is causing great harm to this city and to the taxpayers. I'd like to start with a few points that I wrote down because I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything. However, we could be here to the wee hours of tomorrow morning talking about the history of what's taking place in this town. In 2016, I wrote an open letter to Mayor Will Sessoms talking about the issues of the lack of economic growth and participation in the government procurement process for women and minorities. And my business partner, Lou Haddad, with Amanda Hoffler, asked me, he said, "Bruce, are you sure you want to do this? Put your name and reputation on the line. Folks will attack you. They will come after you. And you'll have no chance of being able to do business in this town." And just yesterday, he said that if Linwood Branch is elected, you can forget it. I said to him, "Well, what do I have to lose? What do I have to lose?" For 12 to 15 years, I have brought companies to this town like Disney Vacation Club, Jimmy Buffett in Margaritaville, Madison Marquette, and Cordish Company, willing to invest some $400 to $500 million, creating tax revenue, additional tax revenue, for properties that have been sitting idle for 20 years. Your taxpayers' dollars that have paid for these properties, but they've saved these properties for their favorite developers. Now, let me take a step back, because once I started gathering all of the information, the statistical data and the anecdotal data, I had to take myself out of the equation. And I started being a voice for the people. I sent the letter to the mayor questioning whether these business practices were implicit bias-based or whether it was because of cronyism. The mayor immediately said, "Bruce, we have to do better." And I had a great deal of respect for him for saying that. However, on the other hand, I was immediately attacked. I was attacked by Linwood Branch, John Earn and Bruce Thompson for just trying to improve business for women, minorities, small businesses, and disabled veterans. Well, 3 months later, after going back and forth with the city, they finally hired BBC, an expert disparity company that goes around all over the country and does these studies to find out what the impact is and what the analysis was of these type of business practices. BBC came back 4 months later and said there was substantial disparities within the city's business practices for women, minorities, disabled veterans, and small businesses. So that fact was proven. Those three individuals attacked me about the minority piece. They never addressed the cronyism in my letter. Now it's time to address that, because there's an election that's coming up, and if we don't do the things that are necessary to keep cronies out of a position of power, it's going to get worse. I'm just here to inform you, I'm a developer, and I'm not going to be a hypocrite. There are projects that need government funding, when there's parking that needs to be assisted in for the public, and then there are some projects that don't need government assistance. I've had experience both ways, but not once have I been a developer that has had the opportunity to sit down and be a part of a public-private partnership here in Virginia Beach. I've always been an investor with my partners, Amal Hoffler. So I began to think, if I'm having these issues with all of the relationships and contacts that I have all over the country with Fortune 500 companies and Fortune 100 companies, what about those that don't have those resources? Like the women and minorities and small businesses and disabled veterans. This is where we, the people, have to do something about this. We have to unite. We have to come together for the common good of this city and its future. Why would our children, after they go to college and graduate, want to come back here? Where are the job opportunities? Where's the vibrant atmosphere that's inclusive for all? Cronyism has a devastating impact on our economy, and each and every one of you as a taxpayer. And you should be fed up that we have people, in this particular case, an appointed council person like Linwood Branch using our taxpayers' dollars to fund his buddy's projects and enrich his friends. I'll give you a couple of examples. The Schooner Hotel in Virginia Beach. Just recently, an RFI came out for the site Rudy Loop. I'm sure everyone's familiar with that. The city has almost $19 million of your taxpayer money in that site. For over 20 years, it has sat idle, not bringing in any tax revenue, not creating any jobs, just sitting idle. This could be an incredible destination place and a park. It could be both. But we have a couple of members on council that have been strategically saving this piece of property, and from what I've been told, for their dear friend. In this RFI that was sent out, there was a proposal submitted on their Schooner Hotel site. I'm just here to inform you. In that proposal, it showed a development of a new hotel proposed by the Thompson Group. Well, I was one of the proposers for the Rudy Loop site, and I was completely unaware that that site was available because the city doesn't own it.
Oh.
So I dug further deep into this matter and come to find out the city has been giving authorization by Branch and Rosemary Wilson to go out and negotiate the purchase of this site for $17 million for a hotel that will be torn down, an absolute waste of your taxpayers' dollars. Now, the private sector, two local businessmen, two separate groups, offered $17.5 million and $19 million for this site. Whatever happened to free enterprise, where the government does not get involved in business deals to enrich their buddies?
Socialism.
It is an absolute waste of money. Now, it's not coincidental that there was a proposal that was made and then directions from Linwood Branch and Rosemary to make an offer to purchase this site. The timing couldn't be more alarming.
That's right.
Once again, I'm just here to inform you of these backroom door deals that cost you, the taxpayers, big bucks. And it's been going on for decades. Now let me kind of tell you how the system works. These folks, the establishment, get projects funded by the taxpayer. They make a bunch of money. They turn around and take some of those profits and put them right back into elections so they can get their cronies on council to have 6 votes to build whatever project they want to, and by the time you realize it, you can't do anything about it.
That's right.
Not one single thing. It is a rigged, and has been a rigged system for too long. Now, I'll even take it a step further. After step 1 has taken place, then they appoint people on various bodies, such as RAC. And I'm not sure, is RAC an appointed?
Yes, it is. Yep.
Like RAC, and particularly the Development Authority,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
which holds the purse
Yep.
in some magnitude.
Is the purse.
So I want to make sure that everyone in this room is well aware of what's been taking place. Now, I'm sure, just like when I wrote that letter, they will come after me. It won't be the first time. I have very good reason to believe that they have had a PI follow me. I have very good reason to believe there have been other mechanisms to try and silence my voice. I'm not running for any kind of council seat. I'm just here trying to inform the people of this wasteful spending of our taxpayers' dollars. And we, the people, can do something about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, we can.
The only way we can do something about it is that each and every one of you that's sitting here right now have this conversation when you leave this room. Talk to other people. Talk to each and every one of you. Spread the word. We cannot allow Linwood Branch to be elected to council. Once November 8th has come and gone, and if the establishment is successful in getting 6 votes on council, we're going to have hell to pay. They already had plans for a new pier, which will cost you tens of millions of dollars.
That's right.
They have plans for a convention center hotel, which will cost tens of millions, and we're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars in tax subsidies. So let me be clear what's at stake. Your purse is at stake.
That's right.
Your tax increase is at stake. And these are the things that I wanted to come by and talk with you about. On the Convention Center Hotel, one of the things has always disturbed me. We spent $225 plus, give or take, $1 million on a convention center hotel, state of the art. But yet, we continue to fund their buddies' projects with millions of dollars in convention space in their hotels. Why should the public have to pay twice? This is the racket that has been going on for far too long.
That's right.
Far too long. And just, if you really take a deep dive into this, go back in time and find out who the city is doing business with. You will be alarmed and disturbed. So if we want progress, if we want a bright future in the city of Virginia Beach that will expand all across the 757 and allow businesses that want to come here and invest to have that perception that we are open for business, we have to start by eliminating cronyism, one branch at a time. Thank you very much.